Good evening. Welcome to Explore Texas 4-H Food Preservation Series. Tonight we will be learning to make a quick strawberry freezer jam. We are so excited that you are interested in learning about food preservation. So let's get started. Or should we say, let's jam. The supplies you will need to make this strawberry jam include 1 quart of strawberries, 2/3 a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of instant pectin, 2 half-pint jars or any other freezer-safe container, a straw, a bowl, a potato masher, a cake pan or cookie sheet, measuring cups and spoons, and a large spoon for stirring the jam. To make the jam, we want to always start off by following good food safety and hygiene procedures, which includes wearing a clean apron, tying our hair back, washing our hands, and making sure that all of our work areas, utensils, and tools are clean. Next, we want to rinse the strawberries under cool running water. The best way to do this is with a colander and lightly rubbing your fingers. It is very important that you only wash strawberries when you are ready to use them. Washing them too early can cause them to deteriorate faster. The next step will be to hull the strawberries, as you can see in the video. This is the step where you remove the stem end of the strawberry. There are many tools and gadgets available to do this with, but a great and inexpensive tool is to use a straw. You want to poke the straw through the strawberry, starting at the bottom and aiming for the top. As the straw comes through the hole, the stem should pop right off. Place the whole strawberry in the bowl and move on to the other berries. Be careful though, sometimes it's easy to mix those holes in with the strawberries. So you don't want to do that. Make sure the holes go into the trash can. While you are completing this task for the remainder of your strawberries, I am going to talk a bit about some of the other things we will be learning tonight. One of the best things about cooking and learning in the kitchen, besides the delicious foods, is the science that takes place. Most ingredients in a recipe have a specific function. Sometimes that function is to provide flavor. Sometimes it plays a bigger role. In a moment, we will be adding sugar to these berries. There are very few things, in my opinion, that taste better than sugar sprinkled on strawberries. But have you ever wondered how just a bit of sugar can have such a dramatic effect on a piece of fruit? This process is referred to as maceration, which is a very simple form of osmosis. Osmosis is a scientific term you will learn about in school if you haven't already. And if you want to watch it happen, strawberries and sugar are a great place to start. Sprinkle sugar on a cut strawberry and watch how a puddle of syrup will collect on the surface. The high amount of sugar outside the strawberry cells, combined with the sugar's ability to attract water, causes the water to leach out of the fruit. Not only does this enhance the flavor of the berries, it provides a great base to make jam. If you have ever made a compote, it is a very similar process. I encourage you to take a strawberry, add some sugar, and see what happens. A question often asked is if you can use frozen strawberries in place of the fresh ones. The answer is yes. They should already be hulled, which is great because it's less work, but you would need to let them thaw before proceeding with the recipe. Another question that is often asked is if you can use other fruit. The answer to this is also yes, but the amount of fruit would be different depending on which fruit you choose. You would want to find an approved recipe for that fruit. A great and easy place to locate these recipes would be inside the pectin package. So let's talk about pectin. Pectin is added to the fruit to help make a gel. The high sugar in the fruit plus the added sugar and the pectin combined with a high acid level is what helps to form the gel. Some fruits may not require pectin or require less than other fruits because they have the pectin they need naturally, such as with an apple. Pectin that we buy at the store, in fact, is often made from apples. In a minute, when we add the pectin, we want to make sure we're using the correct pectin. Sometimes the kind of pectin we need to use is not available when we need it. So that actually happened for this video. So please note that the pectin that we are using in the video is a regular pectin. But what we really need for you to use is for this recipe is instant pectin. If you need to use regular pectin, if that's what is available to you, that is okay. But make sure you need to follow the instructions inside the package, which typically requires heating the fruit and the pectin before placing it in the jar. If you use regular pectin for this method we are demonstrating, then your jam might not set up as well. If this happens, that is okay, because it is still delicious as a syrup when it's added to yogurt or on top of ice cream. It is a great way to not let the berries go to waste. Hopefully all of you are following along at home and are busy hulling your berries right at this moment. Now that all the berries are hulled, it is time to crush the berries. The best way to do this is to place the fruit in a shallow container, such as a cake pan or casserole dish. Add a few berries at a time and use your potato masher to crush the berries into small bits. Since this is a jam, we still want to have a few bits of fruit, but they should still be fairly small. Crushing the berries is a lot of work. You will notice the towel under the cake pan. This is to help keep the pan from sliding across the table or countertop. If you are having trouble with this, try slipping a towel underneath your pan. After the few berries you initially added have been crushed, add a few more. Keep working until they're smaller pieces. You will need to bump your potato masher from time to time on the side of your pan to dislodge any fruit that may be stuck. It's also important to note that you need to be working at a correct height. Working at a kitchen counter might be difficult for younger 4-H members. If you are having a difficult time crushing the berries, you might consider trying this at your kitchen table. You might find that it is a better height for you. Now that the berries are crushed, we will want to measure the rest of our ingredients. We will want to use our dry measuring cup to add 2/3 cup of sugar into a bowl. You will also need 2 tablespoons of instant pectin. Again, make sure to read the label on your pectin to verify that it is instant. If it is not, then follow the instructions on the paper inside the pectin box. You will also want to measure 1 2/3 cups of crushed berries. Please note that you will probably not be using all of your berries. The remaining fruit can be saved for a snack. Did we mention earlier that this is great with yogurt? Now that all of our ingredients are added, we will stir them together for 3 minutes. This will combine all of our ingredients well and will help create that gel that we want to have in our jam products. Now that the 3 minutes have passed, it is time to start adding our jam into our container. For our container, we are using a freezer-safe plastic container with lid. Some people choose to use canning jars. Some people use leftover jars from other foods that they may have had. As long as it is clean and freezer safe, those would be appropriate. You also want to make sure you check your headspace, just as you would do when you were canning with a water bath canner. The reason why is because as food freezes, it has a tendency to expand. And we want to allow room for that food to expand without popping the lid off of our container. That would be disastrous in the freezer if that were to happen. We want to make sure we wipe our container down well before we place our lid. And just like that, we have freezer jam. Allow them to sit and then place in the freezer. Now that our jam is finished, we can enjoy it now. We can refrigerate it for up to 3 weeks, or we can place it in the freezer for up to 1 year. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you would like more information, including an activity guide and recipes for both the quick jam, the traditional freezer jam, or even a recipe for water bath canning jam, you can find that at our website, cook.agrilife.org/jam. This is a great resource that has been provided to us by the National Center for Home Food Preservation and the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension. Thank you.